This is Agent 001 from Autospies.com, here with a brand new car for 2009, and a very talked about car, the new 2009 Ford Fusion Hybrid. The thing about this car that's really great is they've really gotten an American hybrid to get truly phenomenal gas mileage for the first time. I know there's the Chevy Malibu hybrid, but the problem with that is it gets low 20s. This car, it supposedly gets in real life mileage somewhere in the low 40s, and it's a mid-size car, and as you can see, pretty standard, kind of an executive style, well put together design, very classy, nice wheels. We've got the top end model here that has all the navigation. You know, when I look at it from this angle, it looks kind of like the Mercedes-Benz E-Class a little bit. I think they took a little, cues from the Germans there. And they've done a really nice job. It's a very smart design. It's, nothing flashy and, out of control, but it's very handsome and very good looking from the exterior. It's got some hybrid cues on there. You can see they got to have the badges, so the neighbors are really impressed with how good you are and how much you care about the economy, of course. Nice fog lamps. Nice grille. This grill has been kind of talked about because when you look at the new IS 250 hybrid from Lexus, they're actually saying that the Lexus guys maybe took a little bit of creative license copying this grill from the Fusion, and I can see how they get that impression. So this is the 09 Fusion Hybrid, kind of a walk around tour. We're going to go on the inside in just a second. So why don't we take a look on the inside of the new Ford Fusion Hybrid. As you can see, the first thing you notice when you get in the car is it has this really cool display, kind of like a laptop on either side of the speedometer. And that display allows you to do a running demo, so you can see, like kind of when you do a stereo demo where you press demo mode, and you can actually have it go through and show you all of the different modes that you can use inside the car display. So you can set it up for informed settings, then it's going to show you a picture of what the display is going to look like if you have it set that way in just a couple seconds here. You see it fade out there, and there it shows, your basic controls. And then, of course, if you want, even more in-depth controls showing, you can say, show me the Enlighten mode, and it actually just, it says, a display to introduce drivers to the hybrid vehicle while preserving many of the familiar gauges of a conventional gasoline vehicle. And there you go, it shows you how to do that. So I think that's kind of a nifty thing. I think it's cool to show your friends when you get in your hybrid. It shows that it's different. And when I start this car, obviously you don't hear anything because it's electric, except the beeping. So I've got a nice navigation system here, and of course it's using the Ford Sync system, which I think is the best in the business right now because it has all kinds of great telematics features that most navigation systems, even in the highest end, don't have. Like, for example, I can click here on Info, click on Sirius Travel Link, and then I can say, where's the cheapest gas? Not that I'm ever going to have to fill this up very often, getting 41 miles to the gallon, but as you can see, it shows the different gas stations. I can click price. I can say, okay, take me to the cheapest one, and then there it is. It shows me the telephone number if I wanted to dial it on my phone. I have my iPhone paired on here, so as you can see, I've got that right there, and if I said to dial the gas station, I can click on it, and it will automatically call the gas station for me. And you can hear it right now calling, and I can adjust the volume.
Sure, sorry, this is Mike. I can help you.
Mike, sorry, I have the wrong number.
Okay.
So as you can see, I did a demo and actually made the call to the gas station. It also has these really nice trimmed, like a neon ring setting here that you can actually change the color inside the cup holders, like on the Flex and other new Ford cars coming out. I think that's really neat. I like the fuchsia color myself. That's actually the one that I like the best. And, if you look around the car as far as quality, I have an F-150 that I own personally. I have to say, aside from the gauge panel, which is pretty nifty, and the navigation system, the actual bits and pieces in this car are kind of cheap. It reminds me of a typical rental that you're going to pick up at a Hertz. It's not at the same level of quality, in my opinion, of the F-150. It's got, some nice, handy things for coins, and you've got all of your gauges are pretty, or your switches are pretty easy to set up. Nice steering wheel with little, bumps here so your hand fits in really well. But it's not the most expensive looking car that you've ever been in. It's got a nice storage compartment there. So inside, a little cheap, but, you get 41 miles to the gallon, and I think they've done a nice job all in all on the interior. One of my pet peeves about hybrids is the fact that, I've got the car on right now, and as you can hear, there's virtually no noise coming because it's on battery power. And if I were the average person and I turned the key, I'd have no idea I actually turned this on. And really, the gasoline doesn't take effect until you actually put the car into gear. And all you get is this dumb little icon here with the arrow going back and forth. Now, for all of you ergonomic designers in the car business, how about a button that says car on, car off? Don't you think that would be a little bit more self-explanatory than here's the car and you've got an arrow? What on earth does that mean to 99.9% of the average population? So do me a favor, Prius, don't say, you know, anything but the car's on or the car's off in this mode, because I don't think people get it, and I think a lot of people call in thinking their car's dead. So that's something you need to change in future hybrids if you want my personal opinion. Inside the trunk of the Fusion, as you can see, like on some of the Lexus hybrid models, a lot of the area is taken away by battery storage. So the trunk isn't very big, kind of like on a Lexus GS, and you also don't have the advantage of being able to fold the back seats down. So Ford talks about the fact that this is a mid-size car, unlike the Toyota Prius, where they say that's a compact, although Toyota will argue with them, and they are all over the internet and all over print advertising, that the Prius is mid-size. But the nice thing about the Prius is you've got that hatchback door on the back and you've got all that extra storage and you can fold the seats down. So I think this is one of those pissing contests that's going to go on for a long time to see who has the bragging rights about the best mileage in the, you know, mid-size car segment. So if you've never driven a hybrid before, basically this is how it works. The car is on now. You can't really hear anything until I put the car in gear. And watch what happens as soon as I put the car in gear and hit the gas, all of a sudden you hear the engine turn on. How does this new Fusion drive? Well, you know, not bad. I mean, it's obviously not a BMW or an Audi or a Mercedes-Benz, but it's certainly an acceptable ride. I mean, you're getting 41 miles to the gallon. It's reasonable transportation. The steering is fairly tight. It's a little sloppy on the corners in my opinion, but you know, this is a Fusion. This is said, it's not, you know, a BMW 3 Series or a 5 Series or an Audi S5. So it is what it is, and it's not, you know, that bad. The one thing I do notice that's absolutely phenomenal in this car is it is unbelievably quiet at speed. It's drop dead silent inside this cabin. So they've done a really good job with that. Also, reasonable amount of room. I fit pretty good. I'm 6'5". So all in all, you know, this new Fusion hybrid is a pretty nice little ride. They've done a great job at Ford putting this thing together, and it's no wonder that they're selling a lot of these and they don't stay on the dealer lots very long. Well, I give Ford a lot of credit for putting together what I consider the best American hybrid on the market right now. You get great gas mileage, but the downer on this car, in my opinion, is when you look at the price tag. Granted, it's loaded up with navigation and everything. You're going to pay $32,000 for a Ford Fusion. And I'm not putting the car down, but the thing is you can go buy a 4-cylinder Fusion in the dealers right now with tremendous incentives and all kinds of financing deals in the high teens. So the price difference you're paying for the hybrid is quite a bit to get, you know, an extra, let's say 15 miles to the gallon. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to price justify that, but you are doing something good for the environment, and I give them a lot of credit. You're also paying a lot for a Prius too, so people will step up and pay the money, but realize if you try to do the mathematical equation on it, I don't think, you know, you're going to have to own the car for like 30 years to break even on it. You're looking at the 2009 Ford Fusion Hybrid on autospies.com. Remember, spy before you buy.